Traditional Ukrainian apparel, the roots of which trace back to the times of Kievan Rus, has many stylistic varieties. Its look depends on the ethnographic region, even though a homemade shirt made of homespun clothes has always constituted beauty and maxi skirt. Meanwhile, the highlight of the clothing are accessories like belts, jewelry, and headdresses, a shawl or a floral wreath, decorated with ribbons and fresh or artificial flowers, not to mention the abundance of the beads and ducats brands, which determine the woman's status. Men's traditional clothing is simpler. They resemble the outfits of other Slavic nations, but differ in the way they are worn. Thus, there are two main elements, a linen shirt and a closed pants, distinguished by the kind of embroidery. The styles of male dress worn in the later periods of Ukraine's history were very diverse. The main elements of the dress were a shirt, trousers, cloak, sheepskin vest, kožuch, overcoat, cap, klobuk, foot clothes, stockings, and boots. The clothes worn by the princes and boyars were influenced by the Byzantine fabrics and ornaments. In the Cossack period, the nobility dressed according to the prevalent fashion in Europe, in the costumes of the Renaissance style, except for certain departures demanded by severe climate, long overcoats and sheepskin jackets. The Cossack officers and common Cossacks adopted these clothes for military needs: short kaftan or jupan, white trousers or sharovary. In general, Ukrainian folk dress can be classified into several regional groups. The most varied and fully preserved clothing origin and a complicated headdress or chipok. Ukrainian wreath has a beautiful and magic history, but few know that each flower carries a certain message. Ukraine has always been rich in flowers, and people believed that with their help you can save yourself from an evil force. The wreath should have 12 different colors that protect the woman. The first one is immortal. From ancient times, it was believed that a mortal heals from various diseases, so in the wreath it symbolizes health. Flower and cornflower, these two plants are tenderness, devotion, beauty, so they are woven together into a wreath. Yarrow occupies an important place among other flowers. This plant sprouts everywhere, wherever it is brought by the wind, so it symbolizes disobedience. This flower is identified with kindness, tenderness, and health. In the wreath, a daisy symbolizes fidelity. Apple and cherry blossom characterize the mother's love. Viburnum is identified with beauty and youth. Poppy symbolizes war. Rouge, peony, and mallow characterize faith, hope, and love. Hope is the symbol of the mind. This element must be necessarily present in the wreath for an adult woman. In addition to the listed flowers, you can also see other plants in Ukrainian wreath. Wheat spikelets, which are symbol of goodness and generosity. Sunflower is the biggest and the strongest element of the wreath, symbolizing strength, success, and prosperity. Every Ukrainian, since ancient times, had a festive shoot. These shoots are always performed in white. Even the poorest residents necessarily had the festive light shoot, which was preserved for special and solemn occasions. Almost every family in the world kept linen Ukrainian embroidered shirts. These shirts are usually different cream or gray tint, as was made of unbleached linen. Linen shirts have traditionally been considered as a sign of an average level of affluence. Red color has always been considered as a symbol of love, fun, serenity, and happiness. Such clothes is often used in their wardrobe by women and girls. Black color symbolizes grief and misfortune. Ukrainians used similar colors of clothes in the days of mourning and funerals. In some parts of Ukraine, black shirts could be worn by older men. In our culture and history, it is known about the multiple ornaments and patterns that were used in national dress. Ukrainian embroidery, photos of which are presented on this slide, testifies to this as well as possible. Let's look at the main options for ornaments. They are geometric, zooformic, fruit and vegetable, and floral. Ornaments denoting fire, diamond-shaped lattices, and icons of the sun with dots and rays have always been considered as masculine signs. Signs of the earth in the form of straight lines and patterns are traditionally female. On such embroidered shirts often depicted waves, spirals, and signs of water. In form of the most common patterns are often berries, flowers, and grapes. For example, poppies had a slightly different meaning, being a flower of war. Therefore, when a man died in a family, the widow embroidered a shirt with bright red poppies. Wabenem was often used on Ukrainian embroidery among married women because such a berry was always considered as a symbol of the immortal race and motherhood. Children were forbidden to wear clothes with similar patterns. Shirts with patterns in the form of the hopes were characteristic outfits for single guys. Hope interpreted with youth, daring, and love. As you may have guessed, married men did not wear shirts with hope ornaments. The image of grapes on a white background served as a symbol of a joyful and full-fledged family life. Such an outfit deserves special popularity among residents of Kiev and Poltava region, where we live. Traditional Ukrainian clothing has conquered the hearts of the world's most fashionable people, thus making it popular beyond the traditional concept. The reasons for such a success include simplicity in form, a slender silhouette, a variety of symbols, and ornamentation. The New York Times announced that embroidered shirt was the trend of the season in 2018. Embroidered shirts by Ukrainian designer Vita Kin have become the main decoration of the Colette store, whose concept store is located in Paris. Today, embroidery develops in three main areas: authentic costumes, modern imitation of traditional techniques and patterns, and designers' works inspired by tradition. In 2017, the collection of Valentino presented a very interesting interpretations of ethnic clothes very similar to Ukrainian embroidery. The typical folk costume was formed on the apparel basis of Poltava and Kiev region, which was widely popularized by Ukrainian theater at the end of the 19th century. Most of the simplest and prettiest motifs was implemented by some talented artists as Mykola Pimonenko, Ilya Repin, and Taras Shevchenko. Here you can see their masterpieces. Ukrainian national garments were widely described in the world's literature, especially in Mykola Gogol's works, which adroitly emphasize not only the original style and peculiarity of the outfit, but its connection with spirit and sacred tradition. Here you can see some quotes translated by me with some special Ukrainian words like вишиванка, плахта, or chipok from the story The Fair in Sorochinci. The fair in Sorochinci is an annual festive fair held in the village of Veliki Sorochinci. Here you can find anything from household goods, accessories, and food. Some photos of the fair. On this slide, you can see some photos how our students promote the customs and traditions through the art wearing national costumes. Even today, I decided to present my own vyshyvanka to our special occasion, and some students decided to join my company. So thank you for your attention. I hope you like my presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I will be glad to answer. Thank you.